Good morning, everyone. I'll be presenting admission rounds from Allergy Immunology Unit. Our learning objectives for today will be approach to a child with fever of unknown origin, overview of systemic juvenile idiopathic arthritis. So demography, Miss N, 2-year-old girl child, resident of Hoshiarpur, Punjab, symptomatic for 6 months, admitted on 30th of December 2022, currently admitted in ward. She presented with chief complaints of fever for 6 months, joint pains for 4 months, intermittent rash for 4 months. Fever was high grade, 6 to 8 spikes per day, documented up to 105 degree Fahrenheit. Chills were present and fever relieved with medication. Joint pains were present in bilateral wrist and ankle joints with restriction of movement at the time of fever, not associated with swelling. There were episodes of evanescent erythematous maculopapular rash over the trunk and face at the time of fever, subsided on its own within 6 to 8 hours, which is also documented in outside hospital. There was no history of TB contact, raw milk intake, no history of loss of weight or appetite, no history of bone pains or night cries, no history of redness of eye, visual disturbances, no history of photosensitivity, hair loss, oral ulcers, and nail changes. Past history: in December 2021, the child had fever and abdominal pain, was treated as a case of MIS-C, given IV methylprednisolone and oral steroids. For the present complaints, she was admitted in July 2022 in a private hospital, received IV antibiotics, however, there was no improvement. The child was admitted thrice in outside hospital for same complaints, however, there was no improvement in fever, was referred to PGI. Outside investigation showed anemia, neutrophilic leukocytosis, thrombocytosis, elevated ESR and CRP. 2D echo was normal, sputum CB-nat was negative, urine routine was normal, urine and blood culture was sterile, viral and dengue serology were negative. Antenatal and birth history was not significant. Family history is not contributory. They belong to upper middle class according to modified Kupuswami's socio-economic scale. She is immunized till date and developmentally normal. On examination, her vitals were stable, anthropometric parameters are well preserved. She had pallor, bilateral cervical lymphadenopathy, left more than right side with maximum of 1 centimeter in size, no axillary and inguinal lymph nodes. On eye examination, there was no visible redness of eye. So this is the typical evanescent erythematous rash noticed over the trunk and proximities at the time of fever, taken with concern. So on systemic examination, per abdomen, she had liver, which is palpable 4 centimeters below right costal margin. Spleen was palpable 4 centimeters below left costal margin. CVS, CNS, respiratory system were within normal limits. Musculoskeletal system was also normal, no evidence of arthritis. So database, we have a 2-year-old girl child, developmentally normal, immunized for age, presented with fever for 6 months, joint pains for 4 months, evanescent erythematous rash over trunk and limbs with pallor, bilateral cervical lymphadenopathy and hepatosplenomegaly. So possibilities kept for systemic juvenile idiopathic arthritis, tuberculosis, systemic lupus erythematosus, acute lymphoblastic leukemia and brucellosis. So points in favor for SJA are age. It usually peaks around 1 to 5 years of age, fever, hepatosplenomegaly, lymphadenopathy. However, against which there was no arthritis, swelling. For tuberculosis, points in favor are prolonged fever, lymphadenopathy, hepatosplenomegaly. Points against are there's no history of contact with TB, no history of loss of weight, appetite or cough. For SLE, points in favor are female sex, hepatosplenomegaly, lymphadenopathy, joint pains. However, points against are young age, no history of malar rash, oral ulcers, photosensitivity, history not suggestive of any cytopenias. For brucellosis, points in favor are prolonged fever, lymphadenopathy, hepatosplenomegaly, joint pains. Against that, there is no history of raw milk intake or animal exposure. For ALL, points for are fever, lymphadenopathy, hepatosplenomegaly. Points against that, there is no history of bone pains, loss of weight or appetite, history not suggestive of cytopenias. Investigations done in PGI-OPD show anemia with thrombocytosis, neutrophilic leukocytosis, increased ESR, elevated AST, elevated CRP, triglycerides and ferritin up to 8,700. Coagulogram was also deranged, prolonged PT and INR. Viral and brucella serology were negative, HIV, HBsAg, HCV were non-reactive, TB workup was negative, urine and blood culture was sterile. Chest X-ray was normal, ultrasound abdomen showed hepatosplenomegaly, fundus and slit lamp examination was normal. Bone marrow biopsy was done. It showed cellular marrow with reactive changes and changes of megaloblastosis and anemia of chronic disease. Bone marrow culture was sterile. So we have ruled out infective etiology including TB. Malignancy was also ruled out. So a unit's diagnosis was systemic juvenile idiopathic arthritis, considering the typical fever pattern, evanescent rash, hepatosplenomegaly. So International League of Associations for Rheumatology, ILR, has proposed diagnostic criteria for SJIA. It is arthritis in any number of joints with fever for at least 2 weeks duration. That is to be documented daily, quotidian pattern for at least 3 days and is accompanied by one or more of the following: evanescent rash or generalized lymphadenopathy, enlargement of liver or spleen, or serositis. And it is important to note that it is a diagnosis of exclusion. So clinical features are boys and girls are equally affected. It has a typical quotidian fever, that is the children have daily high-grade fever spikes crossing 39 degrees Celsius with rapid return to normal. And a typical salmon-colored evanescent rash and Koebner's phenomenon can be present. And it is important to know that not all children with SJA will meet ILR criteria at the initial presentation itself. Arthritis may not be evident at initial presentation and can develop over the course of disease. A study from Germany has shown that as high as 40% of children with SJA do not have arthritis at presentation. So our index child had persistent high-grade fever spikes. Laboratory investigation showed anemia for which one PRBC was given. There was initial platelet count was 5.31 lakhs, which fell to 3.8 lakhs and 3.5 lakhs. TLC was initially 29,000, which fell to 18,000 and 10,000. There was persistently elevated AST, persistently elevated CRP, triglycerides, ferritin was as high as 47,000. So we suspected a potentially fatal complication of SJA, which is macrophage activation syndrome. It is characterized by non-remitting fever, encephalopathy, increase in lymphadenopathy, hepatosplenomegaly, hemorrhages. Laboratory investigation shows cytopenias, abnormal LFTs, coagulopathy, fall in ESR, hyponatremia, hypoalbuminemia, hyperferritinemia, elevated CD25 and 163. Histopathological features show macrophage hemophagocytosis and increased CD163 staining in bone marrow. So as we all know, macrophage activation syndrome occurs due to excessive activation and expansion of T lymphocytes and macrophages. So resulting in cytokine storm, that is overproduction, and is a hyperinflammatory state. Ravelli et al. Has proposed mass criteria in SJA. It is elevated serum ferritin more than or equal to 684 nanogram per ml and any two of the following: thrombocytopenia less than or equal to 1.8 lakhs, elevated liver enzyme AST more than or equal to 48 units per liter, hypertriglyceridemia more than or equal to 156 mg per deciliter, hypofibrinogenemia less than or equal to 360 mg per deciliter. In index child, she had elevated ferritin, elevated AST and elevated triglycerides fitting the criteria. She had received pulse IV methylprednisolone 30 mg per kg for 5 days, currently on tapering doses. She is also on oral cyclosporin at 4 mg per kg per day. She has received 1 dose of IVIG at 1 gram per kg and also tocilizumab at 12 mg per kg 2 weekly. Current plan is to give anakinra for her. SJA is less responsive to standard DMARDs unlike other JIAs. Its treatment includes pulse IV methylprednisolone, interleukin-1 antagonist anakinra, interleukin-6 antagonist tocilizumab, interleukin-1 beta antagonist canakinumab. And treatment of macrophage activation syndrome includes IV methylprednisolone, cyclosporin, biologicals such as anakinra, tocilizumab, and adjunctive therapy are IVIG, etoposide. So the take-home messages are: so in a child with prolonged fever, evanescent rash, hepatosplenomegaly, lymphadenopathy, think of SJA, and it is a diagnosis of exclusion. Laboratory investigations will show polymorphonuclear leukocytosis, thrombocytosis, high ESR and high CRP. SJA can present even without arthritis, and macrophage activation syndrome is a medical emergency. It needs prompt recognition, and do not wait for the full criteria to be fulfilled. Thank you.